So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Evan Weisel. I'm a principal and co-founder with W2 Communications. I'm here with Bob Gourley, who is the co-founder and chief technology officer of OODA, which is
Right.
a technology research and advisory firm. And so we'll let you do an introduction to yourself in a moment. But one of the reasons I have Bob here today is that he is one of our judges for the second annual Cybersecurity Impact Awards, which is a program that we launched last year. And Bob, you were a judge last year as
Yeah.
well. And the program is designed to shine a spotlight on the cybersecurity technology region of DC, Virginia, and Maryland. And one of the things we're trying to do in our little part anyways, is to highlight the exciting technology innovation that's taking place in this corner of the world. One that I fully believe is not getting the appropriate accolades that it should. So we're doing our small part by having this award. So as I mentioned, one of the things that we have is a panel of judges that review all of our awards. And so we're doing a quick interview with Bob here, who has agreed to come on and talk with me about why he's a judge and why he thinks this program is important. So Bob, first question really is, why don't you introduce yourself, who you are, what your cybersecurity experience is, kind of what qualifies you to be a judge?
All right. Thanks, Evan. And first of all, I want to say I really appreciate when you invite me to talk and like this, but also inviting me to be a judge. Why? Because frankly, I'm pretty much an introvert and I don't do stuff like this unless I get forced and pulled into it. And that's why I love connectors like you, Evan. You're always pulling me into these things that raise me up and make me learn and grow. So thanks for that.
My
And
pleasure.
that gets to the big reason why I like doing stuff like this. It forces me to keep learning and keep scanning the horizon. There's so much innovation out there, and I love the innovation that comes from this local area as well as innovation from outside. But I'm especially proud when it comes from Maryland, DC, Virginia, because there's so much going on here. And I don't think these great innovators and creators get enough attention and glory. So that's a big reason I'm doing it. A
That's
bit more
great.
on me. I do have a background in technology. I was first a Navy intelligence officer for a career of 20 years. The last several years, I was doing intelligence support to these missions of computer security and computer network defense with the Department of Defense. And then I worked in industry here in the DC area, TRW and Northrop Grumman. I went back into government as the Chief Technology Officer of the Defense Intelligence Agency. After finishing my job there, for the last 8 years, I've been doing consulting, helping a lot of firms become more secure, helping private equity firms do due diligence assessments and understanding technology before they make an investment, helping some tech firms accelerate into the federal government by being an advisor or sitting on advisory boards or sitting on boards. So I'm still deeply involved in this area. And of course, I write. I write at ctovision.com, my blog, and at oodaloop.com, where we write for decision makers. All of that together, also makes me really want to run towards being a judge like this, because I'll get to read what companies have going on here and grow and learn from it. And I'll also get to give back and say, here's who I think really deserves to be on your top tier list of the real innovators in cybersecurity.
No, I really appreciated that. And certainly we've developed this great relationship of kind of helping each other out, but ultimately trying to support this region. And so my next question, I guess, is, as a judge, what do you look for when you're reviewing the nominations that we put in front of you?
I am a technologist and I love technology, but I learned early on as a chief technology officer, it's not about the technology as much as the people. I used to joke that as a CTO, I love technology and people in that order, but that's not true. It's really about the people. So what I look for, of course, you got to have a good vision about your technology and it really needs to make a difference. It's got to be in the right niche, but it's got to have great leaders and that leadership spirit and the leader who understands that how to take something to market and really make a big difference is also something that I look for.
Sure. No, that's great. And then I guess my really just last question, right, is so we are focused on this region. Why do you think this region is one of the world's strongest for cybersecurity innovation? What's the appeal?
Well, there's a lot of big customers here. And the first customer you think of immediately in the DC area is the government. That is a huge one. And then the multiple segments of the government, whether it's the intelligence community, Department of Defense, Department of Justice, Department of Transportation, that is a big customer set. Then there's all the commercial entities around here. Capital One is just an exemplar among many. Major hotel chains, major integrators. There's so many customers right here for startups. And so a startup here has a little bit easier way to have dialogue with key customers that could buy their stuff. Now, that's just one element I like to emphasize. There's also the incredible academic institutions where people are getting these computer science degrees. So you have this great talent base. And that are the two most important things I find, the talent base and the customers.
Sure. No, that makes complete sense. Well, Bob, thanks again for jumping on and talking to me for a few minutes. For those that are watching, the deadline for submitting nominations has been moved back due to the current circumstances to May 29th. We'll be announcing the winners publicly, hopefully towards the end of June. And then we're actually going to do a physical event, fingers crossed, during DC Cyber Week, which is the third week of October. I believe we'll be hosting it at a Cyber Tacos networking event that we also put on October the 20th. And then, of course, in terms of categories, we've added a couple new categories this year. Last year we did small, medium, large, and startup. This year we've actually added federal headquarters, and we've also added individuals. And so we've got a really good, robust program. And thanks to judges like you, Bob, I think we're really onto something here. And I hope that this can be a long-term, that we're talking, this is the second year, but hopefully it'll be a long-term project and that we'll be talking about it 10, 15 years down the road. Maybe not you and I, but hopefully it'll live on well past what we're doing to get it started. So again, thanks a lot for spending some time with me today.
Thanks.